Hi, everybody. I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head football coach Matt Mitchell. The Lakers prepare for homecoming this Saturday night here in Lubbers Stadium against the Findlay Oilers. Mitch, a really good win for your team last Saturday here at home. 2 home games in a row for you. A 38-21 win over Michigan Tech, the number 12 team in the country. That's your second win this year over a top 25 team. Looking back on that game, what do you think was the most impressive thing about the victory?
The fact that, we didn't start great, but we found a way to, get on a roll there late first quarter and on into the second quarter. And was really a unique victory for us because it was kind of a team victory. I think we've had some victories. Defense carried us a little bit more on offense, like ODU. I think our defense kind of carried us. And, Lake here, our offense carried us. But here, when maybe one phase wasn't playing up to its potential, the other one was really taking over and vice versa. Look at the series of they score a touchdown. We come back down and answer, which was a huge answer score for us. And then they're driving again. Matt Judon gets a sack fumble. So our offense kind of helped us out a little bit there. And then, Brandon Bean fumbles. And 2 plays later, David Talley gets underneath a comeback route in the boundary and picks the ball off, and our defense gets the ball back to our offense. So, I thought our guys played well together. It wasn't just one phase. It was offense, defense, special teams kind of chipping in. And Michigan Tech played a frustrating style of, in a good way for them, a frustrating style of offense, ball control, kind of grind things out. And I thought we showed a lot of grit on the defensive side of the ball, not to get frustrated by that style of play, and just kept kind of playing football.
Kind of led me to my next question. We've talked in the past few weeks about the adjustments made at halftime. You guys have really played well in the second half. While this wasn't halftime, you were down 7-0. You scored 24 straight to kind of open up the game a little bit. Was it adjustments, or was it just kind of finally starting to make some plays?
I think we just started making some plays. Like you said, the sack fumble on Judon, I'm not sure that's much about the call, just about him winning, and getting in there, winning, and creating that turnover. I think the defensive scheme on the pick that Talley had was unique that we hadn't really shown before. And then offensively, we knew that they were really good up front in terms of their rush defense. So we knew we might have to win a little bit more in the air, and that's kind of what we did. We were aggressive with our play calling. Even that drive that we scored our first touchdown, we went forward on 4th down, and got very aggressive. So we knew, based on the style of play that Michigan Tech was going to employ, that we needed to be extremely aggressive offensively. And I think we just came out and just kind of executed and did some things, and were able to make some more plays than maybe we had in the past.
Finlay comes in this weekend 4-3 overall, 3-3 or 4-3 overall, 3-3 in GLIAC play. Obviously, almost had the upset win over Ferris State. In their 3 losses, they scored 28, 39, and 38 points. Obviously, they can put up some points. I believe is it Reese Gervais, his quarterback's name, leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns. So let's talk about their offense. What do you see with them?
It's extremely explosive. I've said this in some media things since we played Ferris. This is probably the next best set of skill players. You talk about. They've got 3 running backs, and we've seen it before, at the Chauncey Bridges, Daquan Ford, 2 guys that are extremely slashing runners, getting the back end of your defense to create problems. And then they've got a really good collection of wide receivers. It's not, sometimes you see Division II teams, there's one guy they go to. They've got 3-4 guys that they can target. And, I think the quarterback transferring coming in has opened things up for their offense. I don't think there's really a ball on a football field that he can't throw. So he has a lot of arm talent and does a good job getting it around. And you kind of factor in with an offensive line that's it's a very tough offensive line. You can tell they play with a lot of edge and a lot of grit. And they've got it kind of going, offensively. They got a lot of things rolling.
That being said, they're scoring 38.6 points per game. They're allowing 38.1. So defensively, there's obviously some holes there. What do you see on the defensive side?
Well, a lot of new guys. They've had to replace a lot of guys within the scheme of their defense, and they've moved some guys over from offense over to defense. So again, whether it's from injuries or whatever happened in the past, they're just having to play a lot more guys. They've got more experience on the offensive side of the ball. All those skill guys are returners, and their offensive line's got a bunch of returners, and the quarterback's played some football before, but defensively, it's just a lot, more young guys that have not played a lot of football. And so they're going through that, and they've also faced some offenses that have been pretty good. Faced Ferris State offense, which is obviously prolific, and Ashland. They've faced some good teams that can exploit that. So, I think it has to do more, not so much lack of athletes, it's just inexperienced athletes, and that's probably been their Achilles heel up to this point.
It's homecoming this weekend. Obviously, it's your last night game here in the regular season. And then it's kind of, some might call it a trap game between 2 ranked teams because you have Ashland next week with everything going on with the Hall of Fame induction with Cullen Finnerty and Chuck Martin. A big weekend here. What are you expecting to see from your team?
Well, we got to, be focused on the game. You mentioned it. There's a lot of alumni coming back. First of all, we're recognizing our 2005 National Championship team with the 10-year reunion. I was an assistant coach on that team, so a lot of those guys are coming back, and a lot of text messages, guys stopping by, today and tomorrow tomorrow. And then, the Hall of Fame induction. We've got a lot of recruits on campus. This is a really big recruiting weekend for us, too. But at the end of the day, we really got to focus on 7 o'clock. We got to get to 7 o'clock and make sure we're locked in. So that's part of the job as a coach is, make sure your players are in a position that they understand the gravity and the situation. And believe me, we showed the tape last Sunday, and there's still things that we can get better at. We don't feel like we're arrived. We don't feel like we've reached our potential. We can be better than even we played here the last couple games. And so there's some areas that we got to point out, we got to get after and do. And I'm really looking forward to the challenge that our defense is going to face. I think our defense has played better. They're going to have a huge challenge. So I'm looking forward to the reaction response between our coaches and players on the defensive side of the ball. See how they're going to react to this, because it's going to be a challenge. And if our defense steps up and plays well, then we put a position. So a lot of this game has to come down to our effort, our execution, or on the defensive side of the ball. This is a game where if they're improving and we're playing championship level defense, then they should show up against an offense like this.
Number 12, Grand Valley State and Findlay here this Saturday night at 7 p.m. It's homecoming here in Allendale. Again, the final regular season night game of the season for the Lakers. Mitch, thanks for your time and good luck on Saturday.
All right, thank you.